Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. So, as per the title, thumbnail, whatever, this is going to be a talking video. Hopefully not for too long, but it's going to be a talking video only. And so if you guys don't like to hear me talking, just move on. So, what is this about? This is just about, well, it's mainly to inform you all about something that I'm now doing for some time, but it's mainly so in the future, as you start to, well, you might have seen already two videos, or two or three, I can't remember now. You probably have seen a few videos already where I explain what's going on, but I don't want to have to be explaining myself every single time on every single video from now on. So I've decided to make this video where I'm going to explain exactly what's going on, why I'm doing it. So when you hear me on video saying I'm waiting for the owner to bring me the parts, or I'm gonna tell the owner to bring me the parts, or something along those lines, you know exactly why I'm saying that. So what am I doing then, you guys might be asking. So what I'm doing is the following. Actually, before I explain you what I'm doing, let me tell you the story. And I've actually broke my own rule just this week, working on a Honda, which you might have seen the video already. I broke my own rules, and I regret it straight away. I broke my own rule because of who he was. But it doesn't really matter now for the story, but I regretted it. And what is that, guys? It's the following. So if you follow my channel, you've seen that up to now, or up to a couple of months back, any parts needed, I would speak with the person. I would advise, look, when it comes to sensors like airflow meters, crank and camshaft sensors, map sensors, that sort of electrical stuff, I always like to go brand new and genuine. I don't like aftermarket stuff for that. Usually they are very problematic. You might get the odd one that's gonna work and doesn't give an issue, but a lot of the times it doesn't worth the money you put into those parts. So I've always been very against get that sort of parts from either used or from aftermarket manufacturers, and I always tell this to people, but obviously it's up to people whatever they want to put on their cars. And a lot of the times I buy the parts used because that's what they want, is as cheap as possible usually. So I get the parts used. A lot of the times I go on eBay. Sometimes I go to local scrap yards and stuff to get these parts. Even though a lot of the times I try to repair, as you probably know, but sometimes it's just not possible and you need to replace. So yeah, that's what I do. Got interrupted. Right, so as I was saying, even though I always try to repair, I think that's where I was. I always try to repair, but sometimes it's not possible and you need to replace. And okay, so as I was saying, I used to get the parts on eBay, etc., etc. And you've seen on some of my videos where I either get the parts from eBay or whatever and they come faulty. Then sometimes it's the hassle to go through the argumentation with the seller that the parts are faulty. Then is sending the parts back, and take a note here, because when I send parts back that are faulty, like from eBay, I always send these parts first class registered and signed it for, because the last thing you want is send a part back and then at the other end they're going to go, no, I never received nothing. And then what are you going to do? So I usually pay a little bit extra to send the parts back. Then is the waiting time to get the new part in or to buy another one, is the fuel I spend driving all the way to the nearest Royal Mail, or whichever company I decide to post it with. Usually is Royal Mail. And it's all these things. Guys, this is a part-time for me. I don't need the hassle, honestly. So if people want to do things on the cheap, fair enough. What I've been doing lately is slightly different. And the time I broke my rule, which was just this week, honestly, was, which you might have seen on the video, was with this. Okay, so I diagnosed it as a faulty ECU. Opened the ECU, this ECU, identified the faulty components. Unfortunately, I could not get these components from the UK. They are now in transit because the guy lent me the ECU, so I'm going to repair it. But the parts are not due to arrive until nearly end of June, which is pretty much 2 months' time. Obviously, the guy didn't want to wait for 2 months. Neither I want the car here for 2 months. So anyway, but this was a primary example where I bought an ECU and the ECU came exact with the same fault as this one. No more, no less. Exact the same fault. Then I had to send it back and buy another one. But this is the problem, you see, is sometimes when this happens, and I've always been very honest with the people that brings me the cars, again, it's usually friends and colleagues and the friend of a friend or family of my friends, and it's always people, sort of close circle. And sometimes I just go and look, you know, I had to send the part back as it came faulty, it cost me X amount of money, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I had the person, yeah, no problem, I'll give an extra 10 or 15 or 20 quid, whatever that was. But then you have the other person that goes, well, but that's not my fault. But the truth is, it's not my fault either. So what I'm doing now, guys, is I don't buy used parts. So if someone brings me a car and he needs a sensor, whatever that is, and that person is okay for me to go to the dealer or phone the dealer, order the part, go and pick it up, no problem. I'll go there, I will drive, I'll pick up the part, install it, no problems at all. If they want used parts, no. And I have, well, you probably have seen the video on the Land Rover. First the front airbag, then the compressor. I'm still waiting for the compressor now for a week. Well, no, because this video is going to be after the Land Rover. Anyway, I've waited for over a week for the guy to bring me the compressor. Which at this moment I don't even know which compressor is going to bring me, because that is not done yet, it's not finished yet. But anyway, he might become a little bit confused. But anyway, but yeah, so things like that now is you bring me the parts. So a primary example, and again go back to this Honda Jazz. If he would bring me the part, the ECU, if I would say, look, he needs an ECU, he would bring me the ECU from eBay, put it on the car, no good. I could just, sir, the ECU doesn't work. Here you have it. You deal with the problem. You send it back, whatever. It's not my problem. And that's what I'm doing now. With one little exception. If it is parts like sort of, I don't know, like brackets or something that, I don't know, like mechanical parts, sort of like I don't know, maybe a bracket to hold something or something like that. You know what I mean, guys? Something like that I don't mind to buy myself from eBay, no problem. But anything that is electrical or that has moving parts or anything like that, anything that has a possibility to come broken or faulty or not working, that's it. I'm done with used parts. Now, this might come to a shock to some of you, maybe, I don't know, but it honestly just doesn't work. I would even probably say that some business out there, that's the way they work, which won't surprise me. I would totally agree, actually. But again, guys, this is a part-time for me, so I don't really need this sort of trouble. I don't need to be going through these sort of problems. Again, it's a part-time for me. I keep saying sometimes, some people like to go to the pub and have a few beers. Well, pubs are still closed until next week due to the lockdown, but you know what I mean. Some people likes to go to the pub, have a few beers. Some people likes to play golf. Some people likes to whatever. I like to work on cars. I love it. It's a therapy for me. It's when I'm doing it, I'm just in a completely different world. My head is not worried with anything else. And I love it. Yes, there is the frustration time sometimes. And you get angry, but I think it's part of it. It's a healthy frustration, if that makes sense. This sort of frustration, when you have to start to send parts back and pay for posters, and then in the end, rather than make 50 quid on a car on a 1 day's work for a friend, rather than make 50 quid, you make 20. Is, you know what I mean? It doesn't worth the hassle. In that case, it doesn't even pay for my tools, to be honest with you. So that's my new rule, guys. So you might gonna hear me from now on some videos just saying, I'm gonna tell the owner to bring me the part, either because I already know that's what he's gonna do, or I will be very briefly mention something about the owner bringing me the parts. When that happens, you know exactly now why it happens. If I start to get people asking me why, I will just link them to this video, and that's about it. But yeah, that's what's happening from now on. And this is my 10 minutes, 11 minutes of talking video today. So, with no further ado, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do guys still have any questions, any comments, whether you agree with what I'm doing, whether you don't, doesn't make a difference, I'm doing it anyway. But leave your comments below, they are more than welcome. And with no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, any comments, put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.